I'm Tessa McDougall, and this was my essay from the Design for Change writing contest. What does Veterans Day mean to me? Well, I could say it means giving all the respect I have for those who have served our country and given me the rights that I have today. Or that it gives me the inspiration that it's possible to make a difference, some bigger than others, but a difference at that. I personally don't know anyone who has served, but my mother's grandfather, aka my great-grandfather, served in World War II. He was drafted in around the 1940s. But still, how does that affect me? If anything, it gives my mom more meaning or value to Veterans Day than myself. But just because I don't know these people doesn't mean I won't give meaning or value to them, because these strangers were brave and did whatever they did to serve me and our country. In the past few days from Student News, we have interviewed a few veterans. Each was asked similar questions, each giving some similar responses. That has really helped me build an even deeper connection to Veterans Day, because most of them joined for the same reason of giving back to our country. To me, that is what makes a real-life superhero, because having the selflessness to leave behind family, go through hard training, as well as just serving, all to give back to our country, is straight up amazing. Veterans are real-life superheroes in my eyes and should be respected and honored as so. One of the things about Veterans Day that means the most to me is our rights we as the people of the United States gained. Because the people who served fought for our rights of freedom of speech, the right of voting, and so many more. Without veterans, we would have lost them long ago. Imagine if our rights were taken then because no one fought for them. America would surely lose its meaning. We wouldn't have the rights to have our diversity that makes America great. But because we have veterans that served and fought for them, America can continue to grow, and as will we, the people. That is why, to me, Veterans Day is a day where we value the rights we have, respect, and thank the ones who fought for them. In conclusion, Veterans Day means to me that I may respect and honor the people who have served. Because of their service, I have my rights and an image of a real-life superhero. I believe Veterans Day is one of the most important days in America's history because it is honoring those who have served us in our country and thanking them for their service. Thank you to all our veterans, and thank you for listening.
Alrighty.
Hi veterans, so what is your name?
My name is Elijah. I'm Craig Ross.
Okay, what branch did you serve in?
I served in the U.S. Coast Guard.
Same here as the U.S. Coast Guard.
What inspired you to join the military?
I love water, I love boats. I wanted to become educated on both of them, and I wanted to have more discipline in my life.
Just a desire to serve, and I knew that I was going to be working on the water my whole career, so I really got excited about that.
Thank you.
I did 4 years.
I did a little over 26 years.
What did you do after serving?
I went on to become a boat captain in Alaska, where I did that for 15 years. And then after that, I'm a general contractor, so I build homes.
I'm currently serving as a Marine Deputy for the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, and I also teach for a company called NASBLA, where I travel around the country instructing boating to police, military, and fire.
I would have to say during 9/11 was the most exciting for me. I look back on it, and at that point our boat was deployed to Washington, D.C., where we sat on the James River, and we guarded boats from coming up and down at that point. But yeah, it was a pretty exciting time.
Mine was when I was stationed in Morro Bay, California, shortly after when 9/11 occurred, doing coastal security and maritime law enforcement. It was really rewarding.
Yes.
Where were you deployed?
Where was I deployed? I was stationed in Grand Haven, Michigan, my first job out of boot camp, and I took care of lighthouses. It wasn't the most exciting thing at the time. I was young and wanted to go out and rescue people and that, but I was cleaning lenses on lighthouses and scraping buoys. Then from there I went to Kodiak, Alaska, at an air station, and trained the aviators with lowering baskets down to make rescues off boats. Then I went to Monterey, California to a search and rescue station. That's when I got out of active duty and stayed in the reserves. And after 9/11, when were y'all born? Okay, so back when the terrorists attacked us, I got recalled to active duty and had to patrol a nuclear power plant. And then I was sent to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba in 2004, recalled to active duty. And then in 2009, 2010, I got sent to Iraq. And the same thing you're probably wondering, why is the Coast Guard in Iraq? We've been in every war since 1790. We're a very small service, we're a very small specialty that we do. So yeah, we do go to war, even if it's in the desert. I wanted to, do something for this great country. I felt privileged to be born and live here, still live here, not live. And I wanted to give back to my community and be part of something bigger than myself. And hopefully, if not make the world a better place, actually be able to help someone in doing my duties. I'm a chief. That's okay. I was on not the fast track. It took me about 12 years. Yeah. Yes.
What age did you join the military?
I was 20 years old. Yes.
What was your favorite place to be stationed?
I had a lot of fun in Cuba because I actually surfed there. Don't tell anyone, but I brought my surfboards with me. I really liked Alaska, Kodiak. It was similar to this climate, but a lot more rain. But I really enjoyed just being in the outdoors, seeing grizzly bears and bald eagles everywhere. It was really liked it. Yes, Craig, that was here yesterday. He and I worked together all day. So yeah, some of my best friends are from the service because you share things, you spend a lot of time with each other, and you're in very stressful, sketchy situations together, and you really learn people's personalities, and you realize who you can trust and rely on. So you make some real strong bonds with your coworkers.
It depends on what you want to do after the service. Because see, my biggest shortcoming in going to the military, I did not look at life after service. It was going to be a career for me. But things happen. Depending on what you want to do, each branch has their own special traits that they can teach you for life after military. Like I would say Navy, if you like communications, comm systems, encryption, Navy's really good. If you want cutting edge technology as far as weaponry, I would go with like the Army because they deal a lot with DARPA. If you want mechanics or something, yeah, Air Force if you want to work on planes. So it all depends on life after service.
And there really is, depending on the service, pretty much any job you can imagine in the world, you would be able to find in at least one or two branches of the service. So there is that.
Mine, it's going to be hard to believe, but my drill instructor. Out of everybody I've dealt with in this service, that is one name I will never forget. His name is Sergeant Caduccio. Little Filipino, mean individual. But after basic, what he instilled in me and what he taught me and his weird way of supporting us, I'll never forget that now. One place. The highest ranking person in the United States military is the Commander-in-Chief, which is the President of the United States. We all answer to him in the military structure. So one military doesn't outweigh another military. And we have a lot of joint service bases. And in certain theaters in the world, whoever is in command of that joint service base, that's where the buck stops. Whether it's Marine, Army, Navy, whoever's in command of that base runs that theater.
I was in the United States Army, and my job was, I enlisted as an MP at 17, but you can't be an MP at 17 because you carry a sidearm. So I had to change my MOS before I went in and I signed up to be a motor transportation officer, truck driver. So I went to Fort Lewis and I spent 2.5 years in Fort Lewis, Washington. Loved it. Came to Idaho for the first time as a truck driver and I loved this state. My path, what do you call them? Memorabilia. I don't have a whole lot of memorabilia, but I brought a few things in. And one thing I thought would be cool, this is the code of conduct. And I thought it'd be neat if you could each take it and read one code. There's only 6 of them. So every soldier gets this in basic training, memorizes it, and throughout their military experience, they could be called upon to recite their code of ethics. Now, I don't remember them because I'm super old. But in the day, you had to know them. Out loud.
After read it out loud.
Yeah, you do. And I want a bold Army voice.
I'm not sure. Do that.
Try.
That's me.
Focus and do. I serve in the forces which guard my country and our way of life. I am prepared to give my life in their defense.
I will never surrender my own free will. I command I will never surrender my men while they still have their needs to resist.
If I am captured, I will continue to resist by all means available. I'll make it every effort to succeed and aid others to succeed. I will accept neither parole or special favors from the enemy. If I become a prisoner of war, I will keep faith with my fellow prisoners. I will give no information or take part in action which might be harmful to my comrades. If I am senior, I will take command. If not, I will obey the lawful orders of those appointed over me and will back them up in every way.
One question, should I become a prisoner of war, I am required to give name, rank, service number, and date of birth. I will evade answering further questions to the utmost of my ability, and I will make no oral or written statements disloyal to my country and its allies or harmful to their cause.
I will never forget that I am an American fighting man responsible for my actions and dedicated to the principles which made my country free. I will trust in my God and in the United States of America.
Well, even during World War II and that, if the Army didn't have enough people, you had to sign up for the draft when you were 18 years old. And if they didn't have enough people that volunteered, they went to the draft. And so I was drafted at 22 years old. And if you volunteered the Army at that time, it was for 3 years. If you were drafted, it was only for 2. But then when I got out of the service, being I was a draftee, sometimes you were on inactive reserves or you were on active reserves. And I ended up on active reserves for 2 years.
That's why I said it requires so much commitment and dedication. I will say that once you enlist in the Marine Corps, your quickest way out is to complete it. And that's by design. If you decide to quit, you're going to spend 9+ months in boot camp in a quitter's platoon. You get special markings on you so that everybody knows that you're there to quit. And there's a lot of pride in actually completing the process. So were there times that I would have loved to return back here and not been constantly on operations? Sure. Retrospectively, would I change that for anything?
It was an honor virtually to serve, whether you were drafted or whether you volunteered.
Storms, and this is my Veterans Day poem. Our veterans of courage and of bravery. To those who fought for our justice, you are heroes of peace living amongst us. You gave up the things you held dear to fight in battles most severe. You give us hope, you give us strength, for which you would go to any length, to keep in this country that you love, and stand firmly though strong winds may shove. So when the somber call arises, you take on the job no matter the prices. Fight like a lion until your strength you can no longer spend, and your enemy has met his untimely end. Though hardships and troubles block your way, you never cry out in utter dismay.
You push through the hurt and the pain and make the trials a part of your game. This bravery and courage you command, what enemy would want to make a stand? You boldly step forth, our colors flying, red, white, and blue never shine. And so, to the men and women who have served, a great and honest thanks, well deserved. Thank you for protecting our home and laying down everything you had known.
Action.
Thank you,